All right, let's set the scene. We're going back to one of the greatest cricket finals ever played. A story about an impossible chase, a team that was absolutely haunted by failure, and two young players who just refused to lose. This is the story of how they made the entire world remember their names.
And you know what? That idea, it didn't come from nowhere. As England's fast bowler Alex Tudor says here, India had a reputation, a really bad one. They were known for getting all the way to the final and then just crumbling under pressure. Because this wasn't just some vague feeling, it was a cold, hard fact. In the 3 years just before this final, India had made it to nine tournament finals, and they lost every single one of them. Let that sink in. 9 straight finals, 9 losses. You can just feel the weight of that history, can't you?
So there they were again, at the home of cricket, Lords, facing that same old demon. The team was just desperate to break this curse. But England was about to make their task look less like a hill and more like climbing Mount Everest.
England batted first, and they were, simply put, on fire. Their captain, Nasser Hussain, and the opener, Marcus Trescothick, both smashed centuries. They powered their team to this absolutely colossal total of 325. Now, at the time, that was the highest score ever made in a 50-over final at Lord's. A huge record.
And just to put that number into perspective for you, 325 wasn't just a big score, it was a historically massive target. To win this thing, India would have to pull off their highest successful run chase ever. They would literally have to break their own national record to even stand a chance.
In this quote from Mohammad Gaif, wow, it paints such a grim picture of the Indian dressing room at the halfway break. The mood was awful, complete silence. You can just imagine it. From the outside, it looked nearly impossible, but from the inside, it must have felt completely hopeless.
But cricket's a funny game, right? Things can change in a heartbeat. India's plan was simple. Go out there and swing for the fences. And for a brief, absolutely glorious moment, it looked like they might just pull off a miracle. The Indian captain, Sourav Ganguly, and his explosive opening partner, Virender Sehwag, came out breathing fire. I mean, their plan was aggressive, sure, but what they actually did? They blew it out of the water, racing past 100 runs in no time. All of a sudden, there was this flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe. And then, just as quickly as that hope arrived, it vanished. It all came crashing down. In the space of just 10 overs, an absolute catastrophe. India's 4 biggest stars, Ganguly, Sehwag, Dravid, and the little master himself, Sachin Tendulkar, all out. They went from a commanding 106 for no loss to a disastrous 146 for 5. A total, complete collapse.
The final nail in the coffin? Well, it had to be the wicket of Sachin Tendulkar. As England spinner Ashley Giles remembers it, the moment Tendulkar got out, the famously loud Indian fans at Lord's just went silent. The game was over. Or at least, that's what everyone thought.
With the legends all back in the dressing room and defeat looking absolutely certain, 2 young, pretty unknown players walk out to the middle, Yuvraj Singh and Mohammad Kaif. For England, this was just the cleanup job. This was India's last desperate throw of the dice.
I mean, listen to this quote from Alex Tudor. It just shows you how little was expected of them. To the opposition, they weren't stars. They were just the next guys up from some factory of Indian cricketers. No one, and I mean no one, saw them as a threat.
But then they started to bat, and they didn't just survive. They fought back, calmly at first, and then with more and more confidence. They ran like their lives depended on it. They found the gaps, and together, they built an unbelievable partnership of 121 runs that dragged India right back into this thing.
Now here's where things get really interesting. Around the 36th over, there was a crucial turning point. The original ball had gotten all soft and mushy, making it super hard to hit. But the umpires decided to change it for a newer, harder one, and that new ball, it just flew off the bat. Suddenly, hitting boundaries got a whole lot easier. And you could just feel the whole mood of the game shift. The English players started looking at each other, almost stunned. As Alex Tudor says, they started thinking, wait a minute, who are these 2 guys? All of a sudden, England realized they weren't just facing 2 random batsmen. They were staring at the future of Indian cricket.
So this incredible partnership had brought India back from the dead, but the game was far from over. Nope. We were heading into the final act, the most tense, nerve-shredding part of the whole day, where every single ball could be the one that decided it all.
And just when you think they might actually do it, the partnership is broken. Yuvraj Singh is out, and all of that pressure,
Every single bit of it now lands squarely on the shoulders of Mohammad Kaif. He has to somehow guide the bowlers, the tail-enders, to victory. They chip away until it all comes down to this, the final over. 2 runs to win, 6 balls left. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. The bowler, Andrew Flintoff, steams in. Ball 1, nothing. Ball 2, still nothing. The pressure was just suffocating.
Suddenly, that old thought comes creeping back. You have to be kidding me. After that unbelievable comeback, after everything they'd been through, could India still choke? Could the curse strike again, right at the very end?
What happened next? Well, it wasn't just about winning a cricket match. This was a moment that would be burned into cricket history forever. It sparked a celebration that really symbolized the dawn of a brand new aggressive era for Indian cricket.
So how does it end? Not with a glorious 6 into the crowd. Nope, it ends in pure chaos. On the 3rd ball, Kaif and his partner Zahir Khan scramble for a single. The fielder gathers the ball, throws at the stumps to get a run out, and he misses. The ball races away, and they run a second. India wins on an overthrow. You just couldn't write a more dramatic finish. And this little detail from Kaif, the hero of the day, it says everything. He said the normally reserved Sachin Tendulkar didn't just run out for a polite handshake. He ran out and gave him this huge emotional hug. That's how much this meant. Finally, the streak of 9 straight final losses was broken.
And of course, there's the image, the one everyone remembers. Captain Sourav Ganguly up on the famous Lord's balcony, ripping his shirt off and whipping it around his head in pure joy. This was raw emotion. And it was also a direct payback to England's Andrew Flintoff, who'd done the exact same thing in India just months earlier. This was more than a celebration. It was a defiant statement.
So in the end, this victory was so much more than just a trophy. It was a massive psychological breakthrough, a moment that didn't just win a final, but shattered a curse. And it was done not by the legends, but by 2 young kids who simply refused to believe the game was lost. So you have to ask, was this just one incredible win, or was this the day a new, fearless India announced itself to the world?